I really don't like filming YouTube videos that are like where the camera is long ways. This is a very impromptu video and my phone holder only holds it this way. I got to babysit today with my own kids along with me. My kids are 7 and 5. Boy that I get to watch today is just turned 8. Quit ignoring your sister! There's an imperfect moment for you. The way I see and understand children changes, and I see their humanity and how incredible they are. Today was just such an example of that lesson. Like, I just decided to go like this, ask the kids what they wanted, and watch it happen. They've been on the tablet, they've watched some TV, they've asked for and received chicken nuggets at 10 a.m., completed 2.5 Lego projects, plus this little geo puzzle thingamabob. I don't know how to explain it. They've played a game that they made up themselves with bouncy balls, played with a remote control car. Hi there. My point is, it's just been so crazy to watch them do these things that are so educational, totally learning, great for their development. We're at the park right now. They've been riding bikes. They've been on the monkey bars, the swings, the slides. A lot of people would look at this and say, well, you just jacked around all day. You didn't learn anything. You didn't do anything. But here's the thing. I want you to take all the things I told you these children just did today and put it inside a school, because the reality is what kids do in their free time happens in class anyway. The only reason we're okay with it is because it's in a control environment. It's under force. Therefore, for whatever reason, that makes it more valuable in our minds, even though the child is significantly less likely to retain what they learn under force and stress. I have to put mascara on my 5-year-old. Hang on. Is that better? Okay. And not only that, by the way, but I think learning facts is so unimportant when you compare it to the belief system being built underneath. The belief system being built underneath forced learning is you can't trust yourself, your desires are not aligned with what's most important for you, and you need someone else to tell you what to do. Who out there decided that was ever true? But back to the point, the little puzzle thing again that they played with, they do puzzles and crafts and games like that inside of a school. We're okay with outside time as long as it's labeled recess. I'm trying to film something.
I'm gonna get out of this part. Bye, Mama.
Bye, honey. Now I think they even have like STEM and STEAM classes where they do projects kind of like Legos, if not Legos themselves. Also, you better believe that they watch movies in class. I personally know a high schooler who has a high school class dedicated to watching movies only. But if that movie is watched at home, oh, you're just wasting time. Why? What's the difference? One is under a state of control and one is under a state of freedom. The content is the same. Even I am still in a state of deprogramming where it's like I'm having anxiety feeding them chicken nuggets at 10 a.m. when it's like, you know what? It's noon somewhere in the world. There's a kid out there and it's 10 a.m. and they're not asking for chicken or any other protein. And you got people flipping out because they don't eat enough protein. But what they're really mad about is that you didn't perfectly control their actions and behavior. I feel really honored and really humbled to just watch these kids, just to watch them go from doing math and engineering, being the puzzle and the Legos, to PE class here on their bike, to protein consumption at 10 a.m., to story composition and vocabulary by watching Pixar's Up. We don't want to label it education because someone else didn't organize it and declare it gap-free and well-rounded, but whether or not it's gap-free and well-rounded isn't even up to you. It's a sham. It's an illusion. You've never had a say in how much your kid is interested in and likes and retains. It's never been up to you. And the kids who actually do, by some miracle, retain everything they're supposed to and do really well in school typically end up very disconnected from themselves and very terrible in social skills. I'm just gonna say it. I'm reminded of the scripture. Some are the ear, some are the hand, some are the mouth. And here we're saying, you're going to be the whole body or you're not enough. Most people in reality are designed to do one thing with excellence. By letting these kids be in whatever class they want to at whatever time they want to, we are instilling, okay, they're riding their bikes out too far. I'm back! We're good. By letting them do all the same learning activities but at their own speed, we're instilling the belief that learning is easy and things that they desire to do has value just because they desire to do it. I hear people say things like, oh, but they need to learn to follow a class and follow rules. I'm like, that is the easiest life lesson, my friend. Following the crowd is the easy. You can't avoid that lesson if you wanted to. I homeschool my kids. They've already asked to be in organized classes, and they are quite regularly. My son's in baseball. My daughter's in ballet and gymnastics. Boom. Your little follow the leader stuff, done. They get that without me forcing it. What is much harder to learn is working when no one tells you to. Putting effort in solely for the purpose of getting value out and understanding that you get out how much you put in. Trying things you're not good at and failing at it and saying, hey, this isn't worth the cost that I paid. I'm going to try something else. Those life lessons are way harder and way more valuable to your future than learning to take instruction. It's really cool to watch kids at this age because they just, the sky's the limit. You can just kick back and watch them. They are incredible people. If you do this to like a high schooler, you pull them out of school, poor things have a panic attack. Somebody tell me what to do. All I'm doing is wasting time. So no one's bossing me. It just takes time to deprogram. I'm 28 years old. I was homeschooled, but even in a homeschool setting, control of my time, the control that sometimes comes with curriculum work, still did a certain measure of damage. Well, what you need to do is get your kids outside more, make them stay outside. You need to do is listen to your child and trust your child. I finally stopped pushing the outside war so hard. Pretty much gave it to my kids to watch screens all they want. Yep. I used to try this structure where we had a certain time limit every day, or there was no screens during the week, but on the weekends only, and I could just never stick with my own rules. It was like a punishment to me. They're following me around the house. Mom, what do? I'm sitting them down saying, I don't care if you're bored. Like, it was chaos. Furthermore, I can't stick with my own time limits on screens. You should have seen me at 11 p.m. last night with my iPad. I'm ridiculous. So how are you going to put expectations on a child whose brain isn't as fully developed as yours to have this major self-discipline with screens that we ourselves cannot execute, are not capable of? Yet here we are at the park by their request. All I do is I do make up like a little chore chart in the morning. They can't read yet, so I draw pictures and they put a check mark beside it, and they know no free time till these jobs are done and school is done. When those things are done, sometimes they choose to watch TV for 4 hours. My gosh, the world has not ended yet. And you'll notice that most people don't even get upset that I let my kids watch TV for 4 hours. They get upset that I don't feel guilty about letting them watch TV for 4 hours. They want the conversation to be me saying, oh my gosh, they watch TV for 4 hours. I'm such a bad mom. So they can say, just give yourself grace. We've all done it. But me just letting them do it, no guilt involved, can't have that. Again, because there's no control, and people don't like that. People don't like when there's no control over a child's schedule, because my gosh, they're basically just mindless puppies and they'll just run out in the road. It's incredible to me how much more time they spend outside now willingly since I stopped trying to control their screen time. I'm not kidding you. It was 2 or 3 days ago, my 7-year-old son was like, Mom, tomorrow will you please take us to go on a walk instead of just watching screens all day? I was like, whose child is this? I was under the illusion that I had to force and instill the value of outside over screens. But deep down, my son was never opposed to outside time. He was opposed to authority. He was opposed to being invisible and his voice not being heard when he said he wanted a certain something. You can't force values anyway. I came to the conclusion on my own that I valued being outside and being in books. I brought one along today. He's going to have to make the same decision. If you don't let them, I hate to break it to you, but you're just grasping for the wind anyway. I also want to throw out there that honoring what your kids do in context makes all the difference. I stopped saying he's just watching TV. He's having screen time. It's kind of disrespectful. If you saw an adult sitting on their computer working, you wouldn't say, he's just having screen time, as if what they were doing on the screen had no relevance. I started working toward asking my child, what are you watching? What else is happening? Tell me more about it. Why do you like this show so much? Why did you choose it over other shows? What are the names of the characters? I started really respecting what was happening inside the screen time. And do you know what happens when you do that? This is so incredible. The content that they like explodes outside of the screen. Now, because you've helped validate that what they like is important, now they want to go places that have to do with the show. They want books about the show, costumes, conversations. Like, it really did work to get him off the TV, because getting him off the TV wasn't the goal anymore. The goal was just to treat him like an individual who liked a show for a reason. I just really feel like, as far as education goes, me and my kids, really just my kids, have had such a breakthrough lately. And I feel like they are just incredible people. They don't need developed. They don't need brainwashed. They don't need tuned up or programmed. They are a whole person right now. Thank you, Charlotte Mason. Fully valuable, fully human, fully doing what they were meant to do. That does not magically start at 18. It does not magically end at 70. And I love it. I love this lifestyle. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.